to say my dear brother and your family and sponsors who made this event possible. Thanks to Olympians, my dear brother Joel Busu, our leader in World Olympian Association, our friends, my fellow athletes, who finished their career, but they are doing things for their sports. I want to say today that I didn't know that at one time I would get this trophy, but I was working to help like any other person. I met two people in my life, and the two people who encouraged me so much was him in 1993 when I rented 10,000, and then for the marathon, my sister Debrona, who encouraged me even before I win the New York Marathon. So she met me when I was going for shopping, and she told me, "Are you going to run the marathon?" I said, "Of course, I'm going to run the marathon." I didn't know that the marathon is 42 kilometers. But I had that courage, and when I won, I realized the world is not only for Tegla, but I was representing many people, especially women, and especially people who have disadvantage. It took time for me to realize that, well, I don't belong to one community, but today when we talk about supporting the sports, we have a lot of courage. We as a sports people, they listen to us. It's only that we forget ourselves and we enter into politics. I want to say thank you, my brother, because you stood the truth. Since then, up to today, we stayed as a family, and together with your wife, I met them when they had a small car, but we worked together. You are also a true Olympian. Why I say you are a true Olympian is that because you award everybody, political, sports people, because we need you. What we are getting today, it reflects what we have done or what people are doing. It's a great respect. The refugees team was also born because of another Olympian. I remember 2013, I went to Thomas Park when it was 100 years celebrating the World Athletic Federation in Barcelona. By then he was not the president, but because he was a German and I was trained in Germany, and I know the kind heart he was, because he supported me to support the 20 kids that were massacred, their parents. So I asked him, how are we going to help this? I have refugees with me. What can we do? And then he told me, listen, I'm not the president, but one day I will be the president, and I will make sure that the refugees kids will be supported. For me, I was praying, this man should be the president so that he can help the refugees. But I want to say today that he opened that doors for many millions of the refugees. He became the father of the refugees, and I'm happy that he came to Kenya to ask me, now, what you are crying, I'm going to support. So what I want to say in a very short sentence is that congratulations to my fellow Olympian, Dr. Thomas Park, for having the award today, and thank you, Dr. Brother, and your team for recognizing us today. I want to wish also all the French athletes to get more medals because they hosted the Olympic for us. Thank you so much. I received this award in a great honor for many of the people who are in conflicts, and let's stay true to ourselves. Let's protect what we call dignity in sports. My last humble request as a sportsmen and women, let's not go to conflicts. Let's be a different people. I remember that Mr. Joe Pusu said, let's stay true to ourselves. Let's protect our Olympism so that the politician can come to us. I was in the stadium. Every politician, I can talk about Kenya, They want to come to the stadium. And when there's conflict, it is their own. And we can pull all world to us. So God bless you, and let's stay true all the time. Merci beaucoup.
Thekla is such a warm heart and unassuming character. And I believe the legend is that when she won that first New York City Marathon, she was so unassuming that she passed by the field of runners, is that right? And you were waiting at the finish line for Greta Bates, who said, wait a minute, I didn't see her. And the commentators, I was listening, they didn't have enough material about your background or your life. They were saying, well, she's from Kenya, and she's doing very well. And she doesn't seem to be tired. Thank you for receiving our award. Thank you. I'd like to now turn your attention to our next awardee, Thomas Bach Oli, President of the International Olympic Committee. Making introduction for this award will be our sponsor, Patrick Markey of Hitachi Vantana, Senior Vice President and General Manager for Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Patrick.
Accepting on behalf of awardee Thomas Bach today will be Anita de France, Olympic rower and the first female vice president of the IOC Executive Board. She was a recipient of the Truce Foundation Award at the Rio Games in 2016 and a dear friend to all. We are all familiar with Anita's lifelong service to Olympism as a philosophy of life. She has embodied and enacted this noble philosophy as an athlete, a lawyer, an executive, a policymaker, and, most significantly, as a role model. Her presence here reminds us not only about the past and inspires us in the present, but it excites us about the future. Los Angeles 2028. Anita has made her home and history in Los Angeles, living her principles and building a better and more peaceful life and more peaceful world through sports. We turn to our distinguished awardee, Thomas Bach. The Truce Foundation is honored that President Bach agreed to accept its award. He's the first sitting IOC president as a recipient. The Truce Foundation's Founders Award, rarely awarded, is made exclusively to a titan of the Olympic movement who embodies the Olympic ideals as much as does the Olympic truth. The award citation reads, "For mobilizing the Olympic truth through the Olympic movement and to the world." The Foundation thanks President Bach for his leadership and advocacy of the Olympic truth, the keystone of Olympism. President Bach has brought his advocacy to the world, having attended many United Nations sessions. His is a strong record of speaking thoughtfully about the purposes and principles of Olympism, all of which generate from the sacred Olympic truths. As the oldest continuous agreement in human history, the truth is strengthened with every mention and advocacy, and never as forcefully as when it emanates from the most authoritative voice of the Olympic movement, the voice of Thomas Bach. His earnest appeals to observe the Olympic truths at critical times in international affairs, and to do so in real time, have been vigorous and forceful. President Bach's voice has enabled consequential outcomes for a better and more peaceful world through sport, culture, and the Olympic ideal. Citius, Altius, Fortius, the original Olympic motto translated from Latin, means faster, higher, further, or stronger. The three terms were intended to encourage athletes to give their best in competition and to remain fair. And now the word together completes that motto, thanks to the leadership of Thomas Bach, answering to the call of the Olympic troops. In combination with the Olympic idea that brings people together peacefully, these are also the value of Hitachi Vantara, value that we as a company share. And that's why I'm so proud today to be able to present this award. So congratulations, President Bach and Anita de France. If you would please join me to accept the award on his behalf.
Dear, I'm sorry for my voice, but it is what it is. Dear Olympic friends, please let me convey to you the greetings and best wishes of the President of the International Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach. He unfortunately could not be here with us today, and he asks for your kind understanding. I have the honor and privilege to receive this award on his behalf. The Olympic Games and peace have always gone together. The Olympic Games is a tradition of the sacred Olympic truce and was a foundation for the ancient Olympic Games over 2,800 years ago. When our founder, Pierre de Coubertin, revived the Olympic Games 130 years ago, right here in Paris, he saw it as a way to promote peace among all nations and people of the world. That is what the Olympic Games are all about. In our world, which is sadly facing conflict, wars, hate, division, and discrimination, the Olympic Games are the only event that still manages to unite the entire world together in peaceful competition. We know that peace cannot be brought by sport or the Olympic Games, but sport and the Olympic Games can encourage a culture of peace. And the ideals which underpin the Olympic truce are more relevant than ever. We need to build bridges and offer a space for dialogue. These ideals are the most important to defend athletes and allow them to compete against each other without discrimination of any sort, be it political, religious, or cultural. This is what the IOC stands for over a century ago, and this is what our President, Thomas Bach, has defended and promoted relentlessly. I am therefore very honored to accept the award on behalf of the IOC President, Thomas Bach.